Host. This doesn't jump us out. Okay, you got it.
Does
That's
it
it.
say that we're live on
It says we're
YouTube?
live. Let's see.
Okay, yeah, looks like it started streaming less than a minute ago. So,
I don't see any comments. Let me get my
looks like
windows organized
oh, it's
here.
doing a commercial thing. Hold on. Let's see. I just wanted to take a look at the chat while I'm playing to see if anything comes up. Anyhow. Yep, yeah, I see this on there. Okay. So,
If anybody is in the chat, please respond so we
I
can
think
get
we
this
had a
party
few.
started.
Yep, Michael V said comment. So,
All right. Thank you, Michael. All right, man. Let's
then you can
get this
hear
party.
me okay. So, I'm going to talk for a second, then we'll share the game. And
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's supposed to
yeah,
be, I think John Romero said this was like Army of Darkness meets Doom.
I think that's a good comparison. Yeah, I've been working on a longer Doom related project I can't really get into details about, but we've talked about it offline. And yeah, I mean, Doom the Dark Ages, I'll say this much. It definitely, for once, they're doing a Doom game that's not a remake of Doom or Doom 2, which is pretty much all the other mainstream Doom games are for the most part. And
Yeah, this one looks, this background, I mean, that's
yeah, yep.
pretty awesome looking.
It's you can't quite tell on that, but he has the cape has like fur on it. I mean, it's definitely more like a heavy metal album. Or there was that what was that Jack Black game, Brutal Legend.
Oh my God, I
Uh,
remember that.
that was it. You know, there's a bit of that in there, and yet with familiar demons, and there's levels where you're on dragons, and I think we'll sample a few different kinds. There's levels you're in a big mech suit. I think we're going to sample a few different levels here to give you the idea.
Yeah, I heard John Carmack. I don't know if he's played this. I know Romero liked it.
Romero streamed it. I watched some of Romero's stream. I don't know what Carmack has said about it. Because what Carmack's not with Meta anymore doing their VR stuff. I'm not quite sure what he's up to these days. But
Yeah, I forget the name of the guy that worked on this. Hugo, I think.
Hugo Martin, yeah, I've been trying to get a hold of him, and he was the creative director on Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, and then Doom Dark Ages. But before that, he did a lot of the special effects in the Guillermo del Toro film. Oh, the one with the mechs fighting. What's that one called? I have not seen it, but should look that up. Oh, we got Jack in there. Hey, hey, yeah.
Hey,
We should
Jack.
probably get started with the game
Yeah,
proper.
Brad. You got it down.
Pacific Rim, that's the stuff the design. That's the movie the designer of these newer Doom games worked on. So
Oh shoot, what did they call that server where they uploaded the first Doom and they were all like waiting to get it downloaded? It wasn't, I think that was even before the internet.
around the same time as it's starting, I mean,
It was like
what
Usenet or something like that. I don't remember what it was that they were using.
Usenet or BBSs or I mean all
FTP
these
maybe.
certainly. Yeah, I don't know where I don't remember where they originally uploaded it to, but it was crashing a lot of school servers to say nothing of the multiplayer modes. Um,
That's fun times.
Yeah. So, okay, let me share the game and let me know how you think the music is. I turned some of it down a
So
bit, but I will share my
you
screen. And yeah, we'll be able to do this for about an hour. And if we have people with questions, feel free about
do
any
they
of the
have a
Doom
band that
stuff.
did that? Didn't Trent Reznor do the soundtrack last time? Or am I
No,
making
that
that
was
up?
Quake. But someone else from Nine Inch Nails did the music for Doom 3. Um, the other more recent Doom games were done by Mick something or other. And okay, so can you see my screen?
I see it. I don't hear anything.
You don't hear anything. If I turn this up, can you hear it?
No. Did you activate the sound option when you shared your screen?
I did not. So let me. I have to.
Might have to turn
I have
sharing
to.
off and back on again.
What is it? I have to. I see. Okay, so I will stop.
What is Slayer of Pain
I will
Grunts?
stop sharing, and then I will go and I'll share again. And there's an option. Bear with me here. Advanced sharing. That's not what I want. Share. Oh, I see. Share sound. Okay. There we go. So,
'Cause- That's gonna. be. 'Cause- 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 'cause-
And how does it sound? How does it sound like that? Can you hear the sound at all?
I bump it down to like 30.
30? Okay.
That ought to be good, I think. You want
Great.
to be able to hear it a little bit, right?
So you can that's a good level before we get started.
I like that.
So you can hear me, you can hear the sound of the game, okay?
How badass that guy looks.
He does, I think, and it's the music is done by some company that a collective of musicians. It's not the same guy who did the music for Doom Eternal and Doom 2016. But yeah, we should get started. I like that it tells you to upgrade to premium when I already have the premium version. That's
Divinity skin pack. What the hell? Is this tied in with Divinity Original Sin somehow?
I'm not sure. I think no, I think it might just be related to the game itself. We can look at it. Extras, skins, Divinity. Look, that looks. I don't like the look of that. It looks a bit silly. And then
It's like
Void.
he's
That's
been
kind
sort
of
of
cool.
blurred out his face or
Yeah,
something.
I don't. It looks like he's doing something naughty. I don't know. It's
That's well worth $100 or whatever they.
I have no idea. But yeah. So yeah, let's get started. And so you can
Turn
pick.
on. Is there a way to turn on like subtitles? Because that could be nice.
Yes, it subtitles should be on, but I'll check before we get started. Is that under accessibility or something?
Hardware.
Inputs,
They didn't
video.
have all these settings in the original Doom.
No, I mean this. You can do all this stuff with the head, with the HUD, with the different colors of the. You can
Yeah,
do
that's
high contrast mode. Subtitles are on. I will scale them up so they're more readable, to twice
X.
the size. Um, so yeah, so we'll jump around a few different chapters here, and you
Oh, yeah.
pick your chapters from this menu. Um, so you can go here when it shows you completion doesn't mean that you haven't beaten the level, but it means you have more secrets to find. So we'll
No.
start a bit, not at the first level because there's tutorial
It's
stuff,
good
but
that
we'll
there's
just.
a lot of Easter eggs and hidden content.
Oh
Always look.
yeah, yeah, you can collect action figures, all kinds of crazy stuff. Why don't we start with Siege Part 1, I think has some cool parts, and then we'll jump around later to some of the levels where you're not on foot. Um, this one is kind of like Halo in that they concentrate on the story a bit more.
Yeah, I heard that. I guess that kind of some people like that, some people don't, huh?
Right. But they've been kind of going that direction for a bit now, so... Oh, I can press space to start. That's good.
The ships are refueling, sire. We
This
should be
is
ready
like a
when
mix of sci-fi and medieval.
Mix of sci-fi and fantasy. I mean, in fact, a lot of this early stuff in the game is so fantasy looking. Some people thought this was tying into Quake and would link the two, which I think is a cool idea.
So you
But
are holding on to it.
Until we get to the location, a new vault is being built.
Then let the Slayer guard it.
so you play
If what they
the
say
Doom
is true,
Slayer, and these are
then this is a part
Slayers.
Two
Is
of
that
the-
something in the earlier games? Because I'm thinking like of Warhammer.
Are you seeing anything?
they make reference to some of this backstory in the newer Doom games, but I mean, remember that first Doom game only like you beat it and you get like 3 sentences and that's it, right? Like that's all. So compared to these really elaborate Blizzard style
Well, you know, John
cutscenes,
Carmack, he's the one that said that a story in games is about as useful as story in a porno movie.
that's right. Yes. So I don't agree with that, but I also as I get older, I have less patience for long cutscenes. And you have these sentinels that have the Doomslayer in their spaceship, and I kind of like their look, their tentacle arm things, and they got the big. That almost looks like Baron Harkonnen there or something. But he sends the Doomslayer down to help the humans, and so the Doom guy is just kind of trapped in this energy field unless they send him off to do missions.
It's like pretty well done cutscenes, I gotta say.
Yeah, it is, and in fact, this Doom game has no multiplayer mode at all.
What?
Yeah, that was I think that's a mistake. It's more expensive to develop multiplayer, but
Well, not even couch co-op or anything, huh?
no, no. So there's a few controversial things. Oh, we got Jack in here. Looking forward to getting Dark Ages soon. Played the first Doom in my college in the dorms in '93, '94.
Oh, see, Jack is a good old Doomer.
Doomhead, whatever. Yeah,
Remember
I mean,
that?
I think I was like 12 when that first game came out. We just moved to Atlanta, and some friends of my friend had like we didn't really have computers around the house, but my friend had a 386 with a sound card and all that stuff, and so I got to see
The monitors were like 100 pounds back then.
that. Yeah, about 100 pounds, and would give you headaches. The refresh rate was bad.
Big
Windows 3.1 and DOS were the main operating systems. So Doom guy is, trying to escape. He's trying to overload the system with his anger, I guess, because he wants to help the humans, and they're doing their wacky things to shoot
A
him off.
BioWare game would probably have you tapping buttons or something here.
Yeah, that does seem like a mini game, doesn't it? And so
Tap
now
buttons quick to energize the armor or something.
yeah. I mean, I'm kind of mixed on the whole plot stuff. Like, I see why they're doing it, but it's also like, way back in the 90s, they did like 4 novels based on the original Doom game.
What?
And they did some novels tying into Doom 3, and you think something like this with all the lore, they'd do a book or something.
I think I've got a Doom book here now that you mention it. I wonder some comics too.
There was one comic that's infamously pretty
graphic
bad.
novel.
There's a lot of memes. But yeah, there's a comic. They did 2 movies.
Breakfast.
Weirdly, I would have thought they would have done like a movie out of Wolfenstein or something. You think that would be more of a better fit, but
There was a TV so big you needed to check your floor could hold it.
yes, or your table could hold it. That too, right? Yeah. To say, I mean, those 50 inches were like 500 pounds or something. I don't know, they're huge. So, I mean, does this cutscene need to be this long? I would argue no, but
No.
it's pretty, and you could skip it, but we're showing it off to try to give a taste of the game, and I think we might skip the next time we run into a cutscene.
Haven't even been. I guess these are probably some famous actors, or is it just?
No, I don't think so. I think they're voiceover actors that know.
Well, that's good. I like that.
Right, yeah, it's not like, I was going to say Sean Connery, but he's been dead for quite a while now, but yeah, not like,
Well, they could bring him back with AI, I guess.
that's true.
I mean,
Yeah,
that
that
guy
table could
practically-
hold
that
those huge
practically
TVs.
wearing a Zardoz outfit already. I mean,
Reflector shield.
That's true, Zardoz. I was trying to watch that this weekend, but I'll have to watch it later myself. The wife was not interested in Zardoz.
do you have the Zardoz outfit at home?
I say that for special occasions, no, but
Nobody knows what the hell we're talking about.
no, well, I think some of the audience knows Zardoz. It's a Sean Connery science fiction movie by the same. But I mean, this
guys know who
cutscene is way
Zardoz
too long.
is.
Now we're starting, right? So
Oh, here we go. Oh my god.
here we go. So you have the shield you see on the left, and with the right click, you do the shield, and you can throw it at people like a boomerang and do different shield attacks. You can also attack them
Shield
with
saw, I think they call it, right?
your shield saw. That's right. You can also attack them with your gun, and you can also punch them with the E key. And different ways you kill enemies will give you either ammo, more health, or more. I forget what the third one is, but they give you different charges.
Like you got
for
lives and what's that
different power-ups.
thing?
See, Jack knows what we're talking about. He says Zardoz is a great movie. I agree. It's been a long time, and the
Is
director
it really? Is it really?
the director John Borman did Excalibur, which I really really like,
Oh, that's a movie.
and also Deliverance,
Well,
which is good for did more damage to the
unforgettable.
south than.
it's an
Yeah.
unforgettable deliverance. I don't know. I don't mean that in a positive way necessarily.
Okay, so we're seeing here this looks very science fiction looking. These are very good environments.
Yeah.
I believe to run this game on a PC, you have to install it like on a NVMe SSD drive or something, like a newer one that's
like
faster.
Halo meets Dragon Age or something.
That's a great descriptor. Yeah, Halo meets Dragon Age. So the map is always the thing in these Doom games, and you can rotate and do all this. I think this is frankly a bit difficult to read, to tell where you are and where you can go. It just remembers where I've been because I've played this level before. But here this gets more medieval, right? We see this gate.
Portcullis.
Portcullis. I was going to say that word, and I wasn't sure if that's the right one. And there
Yes,
is
because
something
the
we have
gate
to. Oh, I see. So
Spikes on the bottom.
you get these little puzzles here, and here is we have to, I think, throw the shield up there.
That's a very inefficient way to do doors.
Here we go. We have to throw the shield. You can throw the shield like a ninja star, And it comes
regular
back.
people open the door.
Energy production is down because of the war. This is his district. Khan would have him
Now we can,
executed
yeah,
if he
fighting
left.
stuff, finally. Nope, these are people running away. See, it calls it a siege, but then you're not fighting someone right away.
Well, that's good. Build up a little anticipation. You know, you see
Yeah,
everybody.
well, I mean, in the
away.
original design for Doom, right, it was supposed to add more plot before this stuff started. Not huge amounts, but again, yeah, this looks like right out of like Warcraft or something, right? Like this is
Yeah.
compared to the exterior. You get to see all these spaceships.
Oh, we're on a
to see-
spaceship right now?
Oh no, we're not in a spaceship now, but I think we saw those are spaceships flying around.
Oh,
You can see all these
this is a
people
pretty
fighting.
badass looking world, I gotta say.
Yeah, no, it has, you know, more characters and things. We got to get to the battlefield. And yeah, here we can actually fight things. Boom. Yeah,
Wait, are you shooting the right people?
yes. You shoot good guys. I don't know if you can. I don't think you
Whoa.
can, but you can. So here with the
Punch.
shield, if you can lock onto people and then charge them and they explode or it does
Oh.
damage. And this mechanic here is big with the green energy bolts. So if you time to block it, it goes back and hits the guy, and that does a lot of damage. So there's a lot of that.
They might want to rethink that weapon design. Like he's mounted on something.
Yep, he's mounted. So this thing is kind of like the old school version of the Pinky Demon from the first game,
Oh, okay.
sort of. And as you keep damaging the enemies, like their skin falls off and you can see their bones.
That's why Romero liked it.
This is a cannonball launcher.
Cannonball?
Yeah. Oh, low health. Let's start.
Oh, look at that dude.
Yeah, he looks like the Mancubus thing a bit. Critical health.
That's pretty neat, though. They just throw you into this big battle.
Yes. I mean,
Oh.
it does have like that big scope, right?
What do you have, like a chain or something? What is
Yeah,
that?
that was like a switching over different stuff. But yeah, there's like some stuff is more melee attack, and if you here, I'll get up close to this guy. You can like punch him with these attacks that do a lot of damage, and you can. I think by default it's like the fist, and I have it set to this ball and chain kind of thing. Switch to another gun. Oh yeah, the plasma weapon. So I mean, there's a lot of weapons and stuff that you find
You're supposed
the
to be
game.
jumping and ducking and those things.
These shield guys, you have to throw your shield to do damage to them. So it is a lot going on, but the game does introduce you to things, and you're trying to go through portals, I think, to, or no, I have to defeat things to close the portal. I think that's what that is, but they still be finding keys and stuff, just not as much as the older games. But yeah, I mean, look at this big battlefield, right? This isn't something you could even dream of with that original Doom.
Oh,
Like, is it recognizable as Doom? I think it is, but like, it's certainly. And there's levels where you go to hell and stuff like that later on.
well, I don't
Oops,
know
so-
if I could tell it was Doom.
Maybe not. So the E is kind of the fatality kind of thing, but it's not as explicit as the finishers in the Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal for whatever reason. Nani Soka, live mat, interesting. Yeah, we've been doing this every so often, and it's fun to get the chats as we're doing this.
A little something extra.
A little something extra, and we got, you know, that great community over on
I'm amazed,
Discord.
man. You can play and talk at the same time.
It takes some skill. I used to, yeah, I don't know. I do this stuff some. I'm trying to get more into it, but it's, oh, so this is, I think if it's green, you can charge it, right, to get through that barrier. So there's little puzzles like that, but it's not like, mist or anything super complicated. They do repeat the enemy
Launching like
types of-
fireballs at you.
Right, yeah. So if it's red, you can block it with your shield up to a point. If it's green, you can reflect it, and you can even go in the options and change what color the fireballs are that you can reflect. You can make them purple if you want. I don't know why you. I don't know if some of that's color blindness or why, but that's. That
You
you
guys
can
kind of
do that
remind me of the big dudes from World of Warcraft.
Did you ever get into the MMOs, Matt?
World of Warcraft. A little bit of the Tolkien one and the
Let's see. Now someone
Destiny,
from
I think. Was that the? It's been a long time.
something like that. What Nani Soko says, the new Doom trilogy is great, but I wait for a Steam sale. Yeah, that's a good call. I mean, a whole different topic, but yeah, the launch prices of these games, I paid extra to be able to play it early for research for this thing I'm working on.
Well, how much
And-
of that Zardoz skin alone probably set you back $40?
But the I'm trying to think here. Yeah, but at the retail price for this is like $70.
$70?
Yeah, for a new game. And then if you want the version that's bundled with the expansion, that's a single player DLC that's not out yet. That's like $100.
And I remember when this stuff was shareware.
Right, where the first episode was free. Yeah, I don't even think they do a demo for this kind of stuff anymore, which is too bad.
Well, I mean, they probably spent God knows how much money on this.
Oh, and years too, right? Okay, so this is something, right? So you get gold bars and different things in the upper right corner. You can see that gold triangle icon. And in the middle of levels, you can go to the store and get things. You can upgrade shield or melee weapon or guns.
So there's
So
your
we can-
finisher move. So you have to upgrade to get the finish.
Yeah, there's a bit of a. It's not as complicated as some of the upgrade stuff in like Doom Eternal. They simplified it a bit. It's not like Diablo, right? But it's still you can, if you want. There's different stuff you can do here, and some stuff like this can only be upgraded with these like heart things that you have to find in the levels. So there's a lot of replayability.
Probably couldn't do multiplayer like this because what would you be just standing there?
Oh, I don't know. You'd have to change it certainly, but I still think that it doesn't have multiplayer is a big mistake.
Well, they could have just waited like to the end of every level and then let you buy stuff.
Yeah, I think that would make more sense. That you can't in between levels, I think, is kind of a lost cause. But we can, if we're gonna upgrade something, how much we have 120.
Pulverizer.
We have 122. We can do the pulverizer.
Killing
Why is it a small window? That's a good question. I don't know why the store is in such a small window. It makes it hard to see these GIFs or whatever of the video going on.
Hell Surge.
If I'm gonna upgrade, but you can see these weapons here, right? The Shredder, the Impaler.
Feedback. These are good names.
Yeah, Eldritch, or the Chain Shot. This thing is cool. It's like a ball and chain that goes and attacks people. So we could.
The old ball and chain.
I just don't have a lot to upgrade this with.
Super shotgun. They got to have
I
a
can-
BFG in here.
I can do this Shredder thing.
It's
The
one of those
BFG
options for the BFG.
The BFG you get eventually, and I think it's instead of a BFG, it's a BFC because it's a crossbow, which is pretty funny.
Okay.
You can see like tanks here. There's different stuff going on. But you know, this is just a taste of one of the levels, but you get the idea. But so there's two other level types in this game. There's ones where you're on top of a dragon, and there's one where you're in like a big kind of mech suit. Which one did you want to see next?
Oh, that's a tough call there. I want to see both.
Okay, we can do both. We got time for that. So we're gonna
Yeah, let's see
exit
this.
to the main menu.
Oh, Mecha Dragon.
Right.
This
And
sounds awesome.
But this is still some stuff that people are complaining about. But it's the internet. I think people will complain no matter what. I would say this game's a bit easier than some of the other ones. So we can... This Barrier Core is one where you're on top of the... Yeah, so I'm going to skip this cutscene, but it has you go into this big outfit, because some of these demons are like so big you can't fight them with your little gun, right? So we're gonna skip it, and we can see I'm in the mech suit.
Use dash in the direction you're moving. The Atlan dash.
Why am I going backwards? I'm pushing forward. There you go.
Probably had to like dash through those things. Yes,
And
it's
so
a
you-
very effective barrier, but if you run at it, it doesn't work.
So you can see kind of the sense of scale here, the little people in the bridges, right?
Oh, oh, so we're like
So-
in a giant
And
suit.
look at all these tanks down here. You can just step on them. Or those are people. These are some of the guys you gotta.
Whoa.
Right. So
I think
again,
it'd
do you see this and you think Doom? Probably, you know, I would argue maybe no. That they're doing something different, I think, is pretty cool.
I don't know. That guy looks kind of doomy.
Yeah.
Why do they like outline in purple sometimes?
When you damage them enough, you can get close and hit the E key, and it kills them in a way where they give you more power-ups. So it's to show that you can do a special like finishing move. There are the tanks.
Oh, so we're basically a walking building.
Yes.
Rocket punch.
Sir, a Titan broke through.
So this
The
is-
energy relay is under attack.
If the core explodes, the city goes with it.
Feels a little like Mike Tyson's Punch Out or something. You're taking turns hitting these guys.
Last jaw.
Because you don't have the shield in this mode, but you can still dash out of the way. Trying to remember the button that's been a minute. Okay,
Music
there you
is
go.
good. I like that.
Yeah, yeah, the music is cool. And look, you can just walk through the bridges and it knocks over. I think that's like the destructibility is cool.
Like a guy walking across a Warhammer table.
Yeah, yeah. And it, especially seeing the little armies fighting reminds me a bit of those Command and Conquer games a little bit. Look at all that detail. Yeah,
Can
you can say a lot of things about the game, but you can say it's certainly a looker.
you fight those guys without the mech suit?
Sort of, yeah. Sometimes you can like get in a tank or something and start shooting at them, or there's a you can charge up that one punch. I'm playing on easy for those who are wondering. The easy mode is not called "Please Don't Kill Me" or whatever it used to be. It's called like
Don't hurt me, daddy, or something like that.
or right. Instead, it's called or "I Don't Want to Die." Maybe is that?
Yeah,
what
I
it-
don't want to die. Something.
But instead, they've changed it to, I think it's like Advent Slayer or Apprentice Slayer or something that's not as fun of a name. But again, I think, you know, people that complain about stuff like that, it's like, if that's how they really feel, like, they must have a pretty good life if they can just complain about games all day.
Are they complaining about the difficulty or the names?
The names.
Ah,
And the difficulty. Some people say this is too easy. But I like that it's more accessible. And this is a good guy, I guess, because he has a helmet with horns on it. Oh, that's the king. That's the guy with the beard that we saw.
Incoming.
just destroyed my city by walking on it.
And you get a weapon. Yeah, these kind of capsules have the weapons or upgrades in them, which is kind of fun.
Whoa.
Yeah, so you gotta make it really dramatic. Oh, this is the gun, that's right. It's a dual chain gun thing, so...
And it supercharges.
Right.
Like
I would say
popping
the prob-
bubbles on bubble wrap or something with a.
Oh,
Oh. Supposed to like dodge, or do you have a? Just
yeah,
take
there's
it.
some way to dodge that it'll tell me to kind of do it later, but these stages get very repetitive, but they're, I think, fine for what they are. But I love all this detail. Like, look at this. You see this kind of energy thing going up on the shield. You see these spaceships, whoops, flying around. So pretty, you get distracted.
I don't give
by all
much
this.
chance to stop and admire the scenery, really.
Right, yeah, they should have educational mode in Doom the Dark Ages where you just explore.
Oh, he's got like chunks flying off of him.
Yep, yep. If you go up close, you can see that detail even more, right?
I think it'd be even cooler though if you had like a giant chainsaw.
That would be cool. I wonder why. Yeah, like a chainsaw, or maybe you could swap out the weapon and like be like RoboCop, where it's welded to his hand or something.
Oh,
I don't know.
hey, we're gonna have to stream that RoboCop game at some point.
Oh yeah, yeah, I have that one. Yeah, that one's good. That one's shockingly good, all things considered, given the history of RoboCop games.
You know, I get to, I don't know if I should admit this, but I haven't seen the Doom movie.
Well, it's not that great. They've done 2 of them. One was direct to video not that long ago, and that one's a bit better. But the Doom movie, is, I think it's rated R, but not very much. I mean, maybe for language more than violence. But it has Carl Urban is the lead. The Rock is in it as like a sergeant or something. And the Doom movie, they don't make them demons from hell in that first Doom movie. They make them like genetically modified monsters because they didn't want to offend people.
Slayer is approaching the core.
Oh, for Christ!
And that takes a lot out of
Relay overloading.
the teeth of the premise.
Movies by committee.
Yes. Have to make it safe for everyone.
I wonder if does Carmack or Romero make a cameo, because that'd be pretty. I'd probably watch
There's a
it.
character called Dr. Carmack in there, and John Carmack said he liked that first movie at the time. But they've been trying to get that made for a while, and then the second one is called Doom, Annihilation or something like that. And that one is sort of a more traditional kind of Doom story where they go to a base on Mars and fight demons,
He's trying
and
to save the city.
people keep on getting
Slayer.
kicked off.
There's a strip mine nearby.
Okay, so you get the idea
I'll
with
mark
this
it for
level. Let's go and see a dragon level.
I think Wolfenstein would make a better movie.
I agree, and they tried to do a Wolfenstein movie. It never happened.
But do they want to
So-
take the Nazis out and replace them with?
Oh, jeez. Well,
That's-
that's what they did with the Super Nintendo Wolfenstein. Is they're not Nazis. They took away the swastikas, and they weirdly changed the dogs to big rats.
Well, I like
Yep.
that.
That's true. You do have your rats. What is this? Is it the Sentinel Barracks, or I just have to remember what level this. I think this is the.
The Holy
I
City.
think this is the dragon level. I guess we'll see. If not, I'll.
Looks like a dragon.
Yeah.
Or is it
it's,
a wyvern?
this. Yep. There we go. So it's quite
He's
zoomed
got
out.
a jetpack too.
So you're.
So his wings are kind of some kind of cybernetic.
Yes, it's some kind of cybernetic / organic
Call it.
energy things going. Did I get stuck? That's possible.
Are you hung
Why
up
am
on
I not
oh.
moving? Good question. Did I found a bug? Maybe. It's embarrassing.
Oh, Bethesda must be just.
Harry, oh, I have to push
Terrified right
shift. You have to do shift to get him to go into flying mode. Okay.
Oh, yeah, the shift. That looks fun. You take damage if you hit the walls.
Not much. But it does a lot of the where you're dodging stuff and you have to counterattack. But there's a cool. Let's see. I
Are
gotta-
you the dragon or are you riding the dragon?
You're riding the dragon. You do not transform. I think transforming into a dragon would be cooler, to be honest. Yeah. There you go.
Take that supporting wall.
Now, is the video looking a bit choppy, or it seems to be? I think it's going okay.
A little bit, but I mean,
Oh,
if you want the full experience, you could always spring the $70.
that is true.
I heard this game's got really good reviews.
Yeah, I think the reviews were pretty good. I think it's having... Oh, this scene is cool. Look at this. It's just so over the top. We have to...
It's making me hungry.
You're hungry? Okay.
Oh, what's this? This weapons for this guy?
Yeah, so because it's green, you have to like dodge like up, and then you can do damage. Otherwise, it just keeps on taking. It's invincible.
Regain health by flying through the blue rings. This is very World of Warcraft.
Yeah. So some of the like some of these you need to move up and down to dodge them. Like they don't do a great job of showing what it is you need to do.
Yeah. I think it's shifting back and forth between the view from behind and first person.
It could be zoomed out a bit more, I think. And yeah, it's a bit weird. It's not like first person either. Oh, we got something from Shice Squad. Hey, Matt and Matt. Hello, hello. That Steven was asking about the window stuff, or saying LOL about something. If anyone has any Doom questions, feel free to ask. But it's these sort of segments why it has this like dumb tutorial segment is really frustrating. Like after it gets more interesting because you can chase these dragons, and these levels let you get on foot for a bit to mix it up. But yeah, these guys have a lot of gold, but you have to catch up to them.
What are you doing there? Was that the Gold Goblin? Or?
Something like that. Again, like very Warcrafty.
Gotta fly through the rings to regain health. But who put the rings there?
You have to
Look at an active.
look at a zone and press control to disembark from the dragon, which you have to do at certain points. And the mech stuff is more fun than the dragon stuff, I think. The dragon stuff just gets a bit tiresome. And I mean, can you imagine what that would be like for like multiplayer if you could like hop on dragons or hop off of dragons and do this big battlefield stuff fighting to get like...
I think that sounds pretty cool.
I think so too. But...
Yeah, I remember Doom 3, how scary and claustrophobic that game felt. This is
the lighting in Doom 3 was really good. Oh, someone, Nani Soka said Panzer Dragoon. It's a bit, yeah, it is a bit like Panzer Dragoon. But that it makes you get off the dragon just to hit something with your shield just to get back on the dragon again. Like that's very... I know it's like the tutorial
level.
level.
A lot of money on that cutscene, you know.
Yes, you have to see every damn animation over and over.
Look at the guy getting on the dragon. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
Novik, the Slayer is en route.
Lon John Baldry said, the older I get, the more I like turn-based combat. This type of game absolutely does nothing for me anymore. Well, I mean, the pacing in this game is a bit slower. I think it makes it a bit easier. But I know what you mean. Like, your reflexes don't keep up as you get older, and it's... I like the turn-based combat, too, because you get to think.
Well, this is more like playing a movie.
Yes. And I think that if they made each of these scenes maybe half as long, I think that would have been an improvement. Because if you want the plot, you can collect these, like, I forget in this game if they're pages or what it is, but, you know, you can get these, like, lore things you can collect, or diary entries. Whatever it is.
I don't know if Long John saw the scene where you were upgrading your guy. There's kind of a, looks like kind of a role-playing mechanic.
Yes, that one was, but...
I guess you have experience points, so... Or do you? Do you, like, level up?
You don't. I think you maybe should. I can go another 20 minutes about... Let's go to another level that's regular. Exit to main menu. Lon John Baldry... Oh, he means more like what you said, and that he doesn't like the movie feel. He likes the deeper mechanics. Right, yeah. And I think in the Doom game before this, Doom Eternal was... had a lot more kind of upgrade mechanics for your weapons and more different like different modes, and was a lot harder. Had a lot of platforming, which in first person I think is always tricky to pull off. So yeah, if we go to some of the this is a cool level. You can see some of this, the ancestral forest.
Daughter Thera looks for help.
So Azrak is like the bad demon dude, and Novik is the human guy. And
Are we
then
supposed to be on a different planet? Is that the...
you're on a few different planets, yeah. And I think technically with the canon, these games take place after the first, after Doom 1 and 2, somehow. But don't ask me to try to explain that. So we're going to skip all this. And I do like these bigger environments. Like there is stuff where you're inside of corridors and stuff, but that you can go in this kind of spooky forest. Is again, this looks more like Warcraft, or like it makes me think of the movie Legend or something, right? With all the
I was thinking Halo.
Halo, that too, sure, yeah, yeah, absolutely. The different environments and things.
What is that? Gears of War?
That was third person, but a bit. I could see that, yeah. Anyone remember Dragon Breed from the arcade? The forest does look cool. Shy Squad said, anyone remember Dragon Breed? I don't think I played that. Have you, Matt?
Dragon Breed?
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the name of that old SSI game where you're on a dragon.
Was it Dragon Strike?
Dragon Strike, that's it.
But that was like almost like a flight sim, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, it wasn't my type of game even back then.
Fun.
What's you getting attacked or clawed or something?
That guy's like
There's a lot
invisible.
going on with this HUD.
Yeah, it's a bit busy, and I don't like that. So your guy's head or whatever is like down in the middle or in the center at the middle, but I think it's easy to miss because there's so much going on with the graphics. Where in the original Doom you got to oh, what's the word for it? The original Doom was like you could it had that metallic background, right, against the status. So the status stuff you could read easier instead of this stuff all being kind of semi-transparent.
Didn't he get beat up too eventually, and you could look down and see his like
Yeah,
black...
and they don't do that really as much with this, which is kind of strange. But yeah, it would be bloody and stuff, and Wolfenstein had that as well.
Yeah, it's weird how they decide what's over the top.
I think it's pretty difficult to get over the top with Doom, really. I mean, so like this is an example where you need a key.
Yellow key required.
Wizard needs food badly with those gauntlet.
We can blast. We can just walk through a brick wall, but
Yep.
got to find the key. I bet it feels pretty cool though, just exploring these zones.
It does, and there's you know, the mission objectives are pretty clear. There's nothing too crazy out there.
No collectible card game mini games.
No collectible card game. No. I mean, yeah. If we look into the menu, you can see the different.
Is it Duke Nukem that had all the mini games?
You could play pool in Duke Nukem. Yeah, Duke Nukem had a lot of interactive stuff with the environment.
Other days.
What am I thinking?
Well, this is probably about as cutting edge as it gets these days, this game, huh?
I would think so. The engine is supposed to work a lot on. So I mean, this computer I'm running on is a Ryzen 7000 something, like third generation. So it's a multi-core chip, and I have 32 gigs of RAM, and the graphics card, might have 12 gigs or 8 gigs in it, something like that. I mean, the point being, this is like a.
That's not bad for a Gateway 2000.
This is like a 4-year-old computer, and it runs it fine. So, I'm sure the key is somewhere obvious, but let's explore. Oh, we're gonna die.
It would have been a good opportunity for a cutscene.
You'd think so, right? Yeah, show the head getting popped off or something. We can
Green
jump
going
into another level. I thought this one was more exciting instead of starting you to go find the key. It's not great.
You're not excited by key collection?
Well, I've done it in so many games, Matt. I do not want to see how much of my life has been devoted to collecting keys in games.
I have no idea. Low ammo.
That's
Those ammo's just lying around somewhere, right?
You get more ammo from killing people. Oh, okay, so these guys are kind of like the imps, but they don't really look like them. They throw the fireball stuff, though. Dragon Breed was a side-scroller where you're a dragon rider. This is from Shy Squad. Maneuvering the dragon's tail is a big part of the game. You can also dismount and fight on the ground. Pretty impressive graphics for 89. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like pretty cool game mechanics.
I don't know if I've played one where the tail made any difference. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, I don't think I've, sounds cool. I've never played that one, but...
Reroute all units to the energy relay.
Okay, so you can just break through some doors. And other doors, you got that.
And other doors, you can't. Yeah.
No, they look identical.
Let me switch to the, what's this thing? Yeah, so you can... This thing that kind of whips the cannonball out on a ball and chain thing.
Okay.
And they shoot shields at you that you can dodge.
Getting Castlevania vibes from that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, sure, with the colored shields and the glowing stuff.
That poor monster trained for years. Just
I
to
wouldn't-
get taken out with a metal ball in the face.
Yes, or some guy knocks you off the ledge, right? That's the thing that always happened to me.
Well,
that's
that
fine.
dude, what? I thought we were playing Halo for a second.
Yeah, it starts to blur a bit.
Yeah, I was wondering that. Do you get a distinctive feel from this? Does it have that Doom patina?
It's only distinctive and then it's different from the other Doom games, but it's almost like they're trying to sometimes please too many people, I think. We have dragons, we have mech suits, we have a forest, we have
A jetpack.
lawn scenes where the plot of the beginning of the game is like the bad guy wants the thing, he takes it, you take it back from him. Basically is what the plot is at the beginning of the game, and like they have like 20 minutes worth of cutscenes telling you that.
Does it have dwarves?
No, it has these cultists. No
Poor-
dwarves.
4 years of education gone to waste.
I thought you had more than 4 years of education. You do.
Oh, those
I don't.
cultists, right? I mean,
Did the Doom guy go to college? That's a good question.
what was he in the? What was his? He's just a Marine, right?
Just a space marine, yeah.
Space Marine. It might be some college. I don't know.
Could be, or you have to go to army school or something, or marine school, but maybe he went to Space West Point.
Outer West Point.
Outer Space Point.
This guy was thinking ahead.
Yeah. Some of those shields you got to damage to blow them up a bit. But again, like these healing items look out of Warcraft, right? The healing potions.
Yeah.
Or Diablo, really. Come on.
Well, probably, I'm guessing a lot of these teams work on all the games, right? So you could. It probably gets all spread around.
Did you ever play the new Wolfenstein games?
I played a couple of those. I couldn't tell you.
I thought those were pretty good.
Probably
Those
been
were
10
more-
years ago, the last one I played.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. Alt history stuff. But I think, like, having longer story scenes for Wolfenstein makes kind of sense with its setting. But with the Doom, I
the thing
kind of...
about it is how well is the story integrated into the gameplay?
Not very.
Like we're killing stuff, we're getting potions.
Well, right. And then compare it to something like Wing Commander, where as you're going through the mission, your guys are talking to you and your objectives are changing. Like, it's constantly feeding you story as you're playing it. As opposed to this, it's like you have the scenes at the beginning, at the end, maybe the middle of the level, but there's a lot in the middle where you're just shooting people.
I always thought that the Half-Life games did a really good job with that.
Yes, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Especially, I mean, that opening to that first Half-Life where you get on the train, you're like, wait, I can move the guy around and just look at the scenery. I mean, it sounds maybe dumb now, but at the time that was big. So Shice Squad said, didn't the Doom guy achieve immortality? John Romero, I mean, from eating steak every day. Yeah, in the lore, it's something like that. It's like, so what? The first game, the demons come from hell to Mars and the different moons, right? And then you go to hell, and then the demons come back and fight you on Earth, and then the Doom guy decides to stay in hell to just kill as many demons as possible because he has an addiction to killing demons, I guess. And more or less, that's the plot of the first few of like Doom and Doom 2 and Doom 64.
Does it have to do with eating steak?
I don't know. I guess it's a red-blooded game. I don't quite get that myself, but you read the John Romero's memoir, didn't you? That was good.
I got a signed copy of that.
Oh, you got a signed copy. That's cool.
Pay a little extra for it, thing.
Nice, nice. So I can go for about 10 more minutes. I'm gonna get back to work. I guess so. What questions do you have for me, Matt?
Well, I think we've covered a lot of the stuff. How many hours have you put into this so far?
I can look over Steam and find out because it keeps track of that information. I have put about 6 hours into this one.
Okay, so that's plenty enough time to have a
I think so, yeah, to have an opinion of it.
Do you?
And I,
you see yourself wanting to finish it, or?
Yeah, you know, I really should because of the project I'm working on. I've certainly, and there's some parts in the levels where I've gotten stuck. I'll admit that. Like, these aren't the most maze-like levels that you'll see, but there's stuff that you have to get used to, like looking on the ceiling for, oh, if I toss the shield there, then the door will open. It's a lot less of the collecting keys, a lot less of the mazes, and more kind of the open exploration stuff.
Somehow it just doesn't have that sort of horror feel.
No, because it has a lot of
maybe blood
just
and gore.
In general, stuff is too busy, right?
Yeah, it's too much going on.
Too much going on, yeah. Oh, when John Romero was on Matt Chat back in 2011, he was talking about if we can live for another 40 years, technology will have advanced to the point that we can live forever.
Oh, that was Scott Miller was going on about that.
That was Miller? Okay.
Apogee. Romero might have said it too. There's a couple of these guys have been talking about
Miller is 3D Realms and Apogee, right?
Yeah, the Apogee guy. He was really serious about it. You want to go back and watch that if you want all the details. I forget.
I interviewed him for my Star Trek book because one of his first games was Star Trek Trivia, a non-official thing that was all text-based. And he did a nice blurb on that book for me. So
I guess it's possible. If they ever get to the point where I think if they could get to the point where they could grow replacement organs.
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff where they can grow food, certainly, or print out, like, vegetables. I've heard of some of that stuff. Now, whether you can do it on a big level and cheaply, I mean, stuff like that could theoretically solve world hunger and things, but I don't know.
I mean, some people, do you really want them to live forever?
No. Oh, that's what Highlander's about, right? Or any of the Interview with the Vampire stuff. It's kind of it's a curse, in a way. And, you see they're making a new Highlander movie with Henry Cavill.
Oh, I think I heard a little bit about that.
So I hope they do a good job with that. There's a lot of bad Highlander sequels.
I mean, the original actor wasn't all that great.
No, Christophe Lambert. That's true.
He was kind of iconic, though. I mean,
I liked him in the Tarzan movie, Grace.
I just saw that. Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's almost like a silent film for some of it. I mean, it's yeah, I like that one.
He's really good with the physical acting.
Yes. Something there.
What
so I mean, I can show this off again. I think some people were missing this before, but this might be a good note to wrap it up on. But to get items, upgrades for your weapons and stuff, kind of the more RPG mechanics, I agree with what you said, Matt, that they should do it between levels as well. But you just find these big statues, and from there it's a Sentinel Shrine, and you can upgrade guns or shields or melee. and it tells you which stuff you can upgrade and what stuff you can't. And you have 3 different currencies, which is a bit much.
And then
You
you
have the
can pop in
gold.
some real money to get these for right away.
No, it does. Thankfully, it doesn't make you pay. For $100 real, you can get everything unlocked for free.
Uh,
But no, but you can.
is that still a debate, or if people? Oh, do they just does, does anybody do that other than like the free games that free to play?
They still do that some, and yeah, I mean the one that kind of tripped me out, which is on the Nintendo Switch and those systems. If you pay, I think is it $10 a month or $5 a month, whatever, for their online service. They have some of the old Nintendo games on there, not very many, and they have versions of them where like you already have all the items at the beginning for Zelda or something, which I think takes away the fun of it. I don't, or
Yeah.
makes it in God mode, right?
Although, for the sake of doing videos and stuff, that's a great option.
That is true, right? And
Oh, can you bring that up one more time, Matt? The screen you were looking at?
oh yeah, sure, I can bring that up. Yep.
I got a
do
little
that.
distracted there. Okay,
Sure.
so you got 3 things you can upgrade, and each one of these, is it a tree or what?
Yes, yeah, it's a tree. So melee right now, I have
You
2 out
upgrade
of the
all of
3.
it, or is it?
I have so with melee, I have 2 out of the 3 weapons, and the tree just goes down vertically.
Okay, so it does
And
not
it's,
like you're
and you
choosing.
can't pick whatever you want. It's just if you upgrade thing 1 and you really want this one, you have to upgrade thing 2 first.
So we need an additional fee so we can just unlock all of this.
Yes, right. Yeah. You need
So
to
it is at the
find
very
more.
bottom there, times. So if
You
you
need
get
to find
all,
more gold, and there isn't. Some levels have gold laying around, but they're more in the secret rooms. So again, I think they're trying to artificially lengthen it in a way to get people to, if they want to collect everything. Shield upgrades. You have the base shield. Later on, you get runes, which I haven't found any yet.
oh, that looks neat.
Which seems cool.
Is that just cosmetic, the runes, or do they give you
I no, I think they changed the effect of the shield somewhat from what I remember reading. And the arsenal, and you get roughly 1 new weapon a level, at least so far in the game, and so
grenade launcher?
you can change. You know, there's grenade launcher. I mean, that was in Quake. Chain shot. That thing's cool. The ball and chain. This is a good place to end it, I think, here. But yeah, pulverizer. So if you look here in the
Yeah, we're
lower
getting on to the
right,
ending here. So what
it
do
has
you
a skull. The pulverizer takes a skull and spits it up into pieces and fires it at the enemy.
So overall, what would you give this game?
What's the rating system?
Say 5 stars.
With 5 being the most.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can
I
do
would give-
just the game itself and then also compare it to the previous Dooms.
Ah, very good. Okay, so the game itself, pretending there's no other Doom games, right?
Right.
Just in isolation, I would say Doom: The Dark Ages is probably, I'd say 3.5.
Oh,
And then compared to the other Doom games, maybe 3. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I think mechanically it's a good game, but it's missing a little something, and I don't know if it's because if it's trying to do too much or it's too much going on with because the storyline isn't that complicated, but it's all the cutscenes and stuff. You kind of expect the Doom, or at least the original Doom games were so fast paced, right? And this one's a bit more
Convoluted.
explory, which is good, but I think it's also not what people were expecting. And because there's no multiplayer, the amount of active users on Steam isn't what people think it should be, for whatever that's worth. But
I think graphics and music and all that stuff are pretty high.
yeah, the graphics, all that. I think the gameplay is
The game,
above average, but it's just at the same time kind of not.
well, it's like they put enough money into a game, you're going to get something like this, right? I mean, regardless of.
I think too, yeah. And the more realistic graphics get, the more developers are compelled to make more cinematic sequences and things.
No, sounds fair. Well, now you got to run.
Yep, but thanks. This was
Thanks, Matt. It's been
fun,
fun.
and sure, no, anytime.
Maybe we
and
can do that
hopefully-
Dragon Strike or RoboCop or something next time.
Right, yeah, that could be fun to do another one, or we could get Becky on here again. I'm sure there's another interplay thing she'd like to talk about, because we did Battle Chess, I think, the last time with her.
And what are we? Probably at least one we haven't done.
So, all right. Well, sounds good. Let me stop sharing.
Okay, how do I close this chat? Okay, I'm gonna end the stream. Let's make sure we don't have any more Scott Miller of Apogee. Yeah, go watch that one. That's a good one. Okay, Matt, see you later.
Yep. See you later.
You
Thanks,
guys,
Mike.
thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in, chat. All right. Bye.